Here's the untold story of the Irish heroes who never came home. During World War II, while Ireland remained officially neutral, tens of thousands of Irishmen quietly made a different choice. They left behind their towns, their farms, their families, and they went to war. Some slipped across the border into Northern Ireland under the cover of darkness. Others took the ferry to Liverpool or Glasgow, blending into the crowds. Most went with nothing, no papers, no uniforms, no fanfare, just a belief that tyranny had to be stopped. By the end of the war, over 70,000 Irish men and women had joined the Allied forces. They came from every corner of the island, from Dublin's north side, where dock workers swapped the cranes of the Liffey for the battlefields of France, from Cork and Kerry, where fishermen and farmers traded nets and ploughs for rifles, from Belfast, where shipyard workers joined the Royal Navy and manned the convoys that kept Britain alive, and from the quiet villages of Mayo and Donegal, where young men with no work saw war as their only escape. They served in every theatre of war, the skies over Europe, the sands of North Africa, the frozen seas of the Atlantic. Many never came back. One of the most famous was Brendan "Paddy" Finucane, a young pilot from Rathmines, Dublin. He joined the Royal Air Force at just 17 and quickly became a legend. With a green Shamrock painted on his Spitfire, Finucane shot down 32 German aircraft, one of the top aces of the entire war. Newspapers called him the Flying Shamrock. At 21, he was promoted to Wing Commander, the youngest in RAF history.
But in 1942, during a low-flying mission over France, his plane was hit. He tried to glide it back over the English Channel, but never made it. His last words over the radio were simple: "Tell them I've had it."
Finucane's body was never recovered. His name is carved into the memorial at Runnymede among thousands of airmen lost with no known grave. Then there was Dr. Aidan MacCarthy from Castletownbere, County Cork, a man whose story feels almost impossible to believe. He joined the RAF Medical Corps and was captured by the Japanese after the fall of Singapore. He spent years in brutal prison camps, enduring starvation, disease, and torture. When the atomic bomb fell on Nagasaki, he was there, one of the few Irishmen to witness it. Against all odds, he survived. He later returned home with a Japanese officer's sword, the same man who had once commanded him, given as a gesture of peace. That sword still hangs today in MacCarthy's bar in Castletownbere, a silent reminder of survival, suffering, and forgiveness. Another Irish hero, Richard "Dickie" Kelliher, born in Tralee, County Kerry, emigrated to Australia before the war. In 1943, during the New Guinea campaign, his unit came under heavy fire. Kelliher grabbed a Bren gun and single-handedly attacked the enemy position, killing several and rescuing wounded comrades. He earned the Victoria Cross, the highest award for bravery, for his actions that day. And then there were the unsung ones, the Irish merchant sailors. Neutral island ships sailed under the tricolour, carrying food and supplies across U-boat-infested waters. They weren't soldiers, but they faced the same dangers. Over 100 Irish merchant ships were sunk during the war. Thousands of sailors were lost at sea, their names unrecorded, their graves the Atlantic itself. But perhaps the hardest stories are those who did come home. For many, there were no parades or medals, only silence. You see, those who left the Irish Defence Forces to join the Allies were officially labelled as deserters. When they returned after the war, the Irish government blacklisted them. They couldn't get state jobs, pensions, or even welfare. Some struggled for decades in poverty and shame, all because they had chosen to fight against fascism. It wasn't until 2013, nearly 70 years later, that the Irish government formally issued a pardon to those men. By then, most were long gone. Imagine the heartbreak of families who waited years for a father, a brother, a son who would never come home, then had to hide his story for fear of being judged. Yet for all that pain, the courage of these men and women never faded. They fought in the shadows, carried Irish pride across continents and helped liberate Europe from tyranny. Ireland may have been neutral, but the Irish were not. From the skies of France to the jungles of Asia, from the depths of the Atlantic to the streets of Dublin, where mothers waited for news that never came, the Irish spirit was there. Quiet, brave, unbreakable. These are the forgotten Irish heroes who never came home. They didn't fight for medals or politics, they fought for humanity. And now, after decades of silence, their stories are finally being told. Because remembrance is not just about who won, it's about who sacrificed everything.